So welcome, we're back for another exciting Titan Tour episode. Today we're at City Seafood. Brad Burns, congratulations. I can't help but look at your resume and wonder, how do you find all the time? It's incredible what you do. I know you've been on the Mizzou Alumni Association board, active with the MAC, you know, all of these different things above and beyond your business. But tell me about the different businesses that you are involved in, that you're participating in right now.
Yeah, sure. So we have Wayne Contracting, which was a business I started in 2014. It's a commercial general contracting company. We predominantly do retail QSR type work all over the country. Licensed in 48 states. The only place we don't work are Alaska and Hawaii. That's been around for about 12 years. In 2019, we set up a signage and graphics company that does commercial work all across the country. We also work in Canada. We've done projects in the Caribbean. We just did a project in Spain and Japan. We're going to probably expand into Europe next year. So that one does commercial signage graphics. Some of our bigger clients are like Dick's, Kroger. We work a lot through project management companies doing various types of decor type projects. So, you know, stuff just like this here. In 2019, we also started a company called Maher Hardscapes, which has evolved from just doing like outdoor projects like patios, outdoor kitchens, outdoor fireplaces, into doing pools and more comprehensive outdoor projects. So we've rebranded that to be Merrimack Pools and Outdoors. So now we do large scale projects. It's more like sales project management as opposed to, you know, kind of going out there and, you know, slinging the concrete every day. And then in 2023, we started City Seafood, which has taken off. We supply fresh seafood here in the St. Louis area to restaurants, country clubs, and we actually set up a direct-to-consumer online platform last year where people can order, and we'll deliver it right to your front door, or you can come by and pick it up and meet Mike the fishmonger here. He's super knowledgeable about everything seafood, which is it's been an amazing blessing. And then this past year, we started working on some franchise restaurant concepts here in St. Louis.
Okay.
So we have one location out in St. Peter's for a small sandwich shop, and we'll see if we can continue to grow that.
We order, you know, seafood. It comes from all over, you know, Boston, New York area, Miami, New Orleans, Alaska. We have a nice vendor down in New Zealand and Australia, so we can get some products from there. Get tunas out of the Philippines, so it kind of comes from everywhere, you know. European octopus and a lot of stuff from Spain and Portugal. And we bring in, you know, the restaurants, they want to have their menu, what they want to do, so we source it for them. We meet and they tell us what they want on their menu, and we find it, bring it in, we process everything to order, and then we put it on our trucks and take it to the restaurant.
So this is the main office. As we open this door, we go out to our processing facility. So this is Austin, one of our professional fishmongers here.
Austin, how you doing? Jim Maher. Nice meeting you.
He's the one of the dynamic duo that manages all of our processing here.
Okay.
So this year we did just over $5 million in revenue, and Austin and Dave are the only guys. Well, we have another guy that kind of shifts between cutting and delivery. But, just those two guys kind of handle the load of that. So usually when everything comes in, it comes in these doors here. We depalletize it. It'll come on typically like a tractor trailer. We'll get like 1 or 2 deliveries a week. We have a logistics company that kind of picks up everything from all of our vendors and drives it across. Anything that comes out of Alaska comes in Southwest Cargo. Michael shoots somebody up to the airport to pick up whenever that gets in. So kind of a couple different ways, but everything comes in at once. Usually gets processed through here. This is cold storage. You can kind of see if you want to get in there. Everything comes in pretty much whole fish, and then we process it over here in the next room.
Yeah, they're, you know, whole salmon.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. We try to keep everything, you know, whole. It keeps longer. And it's nicer, you know.
Presentation.
Some of these places they'll get it filleted, so they're filleting it on the East Coast or wherever the Gulf. It takes a day or two to get up here, so it's already off the bone for 2 days, and just increases the shelf life.
And over here, this is where everything kind of gets processed. Yeah, so typically these guys will have a table set in the middle. They'll bring in seafood. You can actually access cold storage through there.
Okay.
Bring in whatever we're processing. So orders basically come in, they go in through here. It'll tell who it's for, what it's supposed to be, the type of fish, the cut it is, so that way those guys can process it all as quickly as they can, pop it off, and we just keep cycling through inventory or through orders.
I'm looking and I'm talking to several Titan organizations. What they would like to see is the Titan community get behind more. How do we scale business? How do we scale jobs? You know, we're struggling for growth in the St. Louis
100%.
area right now. How do we pull that back in the right direction?
I would love to figure out a way to make St. Louis like the entrepreneurial capital of the Midwest. Like, you know, there's the East Coast, there's the West Coast, everybody wants to live and work there. In the Midwest, if we could figure out a way to make St. Louis like the pinnacle of like entrepreneurship for anybody not on the coast, I think that's what would be amazing. I know Buffalo, they have like a contest where you basically like sell your business plan and try to sell your business, and the winner gets $1 million, but you got to move to Buffalo and stay in Buffalo for 10 years. I think there's probably unique ways that we can do things like that in St. Louis to really just revitalize and make St. Louis like a destination for people that want to come, especially the entrepreneurs, because you get a bunch of entrepreneurs and you just, I think the city would just flourish. I think it would explode.
These employers of 10 to 300 employees, you know, these companies that have been, that have been around 8, 9, 10 years, it's like 90% of the companies, if they're a startup, don't make it to 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, let's go find these companies that are creating jobs and push this forward. I'm all over what you're saying. And I love the concept of the entrepreneurial capital of the Midwest.
Yeah.
You know.
So I grew up out in Troy, Missouri. First person in my family to graduate college. Nobody was an entrepreneur. I didn't really have anybody I could look to and be like, I'm going to follow your path. When I started Wayne Contracting the first 5 years, I got punched in the face so many times and made so many mistakes, we don't have to do those things again. So we're at like an accelerated path, you know. It was definitely challenging. I didn't have anybody that I really called on. I was all just kind of figuring it out as I went, which I think is really a good way to do it, because when you make a mistake and it hurts a little bit, you're never going to make that mistake again. I knew I always wanted to do something for myself. I just didn't know what it was. So everybody always says, like, if you do something you're passionate about, it's like you never worked a day in your life. So I was like, all right, what am I going to do? So I tried a couple small things and they just didn't pan out. I was in commercial real estate finance in 2008. Everybody knows in 2008 it was, the market just basically dissipated. So I kind of pivoted because I had a couple kids. We got into the construction side of things, worked for an architecture firm for a couple years, moved to a national general contracting firm. Over the next few months, like May, June, July, I did a handful of small jobs. I was trying to kind of figure out what my next step was going to be. Closer to the end of the year, I got a couple contracts. One was with Walgreens to do like 65 decor remodels across the country. Then we got a project to do a bunch of IKEA remodels, so like their kitchen areas where they kind of build out those like sample kitchens. And I was like, all right, maybe there's something here. Maybe I'll just see where this goes. And hired my first employee in 2015 who still works with us. Yeah, I just, you know, it was a thing where if you would have said, 10 years ago, you're going to own a seafood company, a contracting company, a pool company, and all these other things, I would say I would own none of those things.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, opportunity presented itself, and, you know, you meet the right people, and it's like, all right, let's just make it go and see what happens. And now I feel like I'm in a situation where if somebody comes and they say, hey, this is an idea, or I want to do this, or I want to keep doing this, and it sounds right, and I feel like I can build around them, and they have like the intangibles, like the drive, the motivation, some skill set that isn't easily replicatable, and I have a little bit of cash and the ability to build infrastructure around them. I say, let's just go for it and see what happens. So,
well, appreciate your time, and thank you very much
for coming by,
sharing your one of your entities today. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys taking the time.